Hi, my darlings. I'm Sophie Darling, and welcome back to the channel. If I sound a bit sniffly throughout this video, I am just recovering from the flu. YouTube, when you see this, I will have recovered from the flu like weeks ago, so don't stress yourselves. This is being filmed on the 3rd of October. This will be coming to YouTube probably like November. So, yeah, don't worry. I am well healed, advanced in the future from when you're seeing this video. It kind of left on a bit of a cliffhanger. I was getting really into it. He was doing the pacifist approach of taking down everyone without actually shedding blood, but it kind of cut off before things were like ramping up. So I've been dying to see this, and I've had to wait even longer because of the flu. I was supposed to have like watched it last weekend, and I've had to wait like a week before I could actually sit down and watch it. So yeah, I am worried that this may be where we lose Fours, because I am still of the mindset that this is going to be a revenge narrative, that Finn is going to see his dad die, and that's going to motivate his narrative journey. That's going to push him to seek new lands to avenge his father's death, and he's going to witness that. So whether it happens in this episode, I don't know, but I have a feeling we are getting to the point now where narratively it makes sense for Finn to witness his father's death as the driving force for him going forward, and the motivation for him to start pursuing his own adventure to avenge his father, who he's seeing in full force as a warrior. He's never got to see his dad like this, and now he's also going to see the consequence of what it means to be a warrior. But at the same time, I think he's going to want to avenge his father, because he's going to feel that what was done to his father was a betrayal. And it is a betrayal, let's be real. But I think narrative-wise, it makes sense if we start to like prepare ourselves for losing Fours, either this episode or in the next episode. I just don't see the narrative keeping him in much longer, because it makes more sense for him to not be in it. But I could be proven wrong. There have been directions that I thought the show was going in previous episodes, and it didn't go in that direction. So I'm prepared to eat my words and my theory to be completely and utterly nonsense. But without further ado, let's get into episode 4. So cool. So cool. So menacing. Oh! Okay, that was really graphic. This is what you signed up for. Oh my god. He's a menace. I love it. All he needs is his fists. Is Bjorn locked in? He's locked in. What the fuck? He's attacking his own men. What? Bjorn. Bjorn, what the fuck, man? Oh, the mushroom he was eating in the previous episode. So he's probably like hallucinating, right? He's tripping balls. Probably doesn't feel the pain either, and is just gonna keep going and going and going. Because his faculty for pain is probably gonna be severely minimized. He's gonna get back up, isn't he? Or is Bjorn down already? Nope. Didn't think so. Dang it, Bjorn. Why do I feel like Force is gonna die trying to protect the kids?
遊んでやるぜ、僕ちゃんたち。
Oh fuck. Oh, look at the little aberration on Thorfinn's face. It's like, that's my dad. Oh my god, the majestic
お前たちの戦力
hair
はすでに
flip.
半減した。猿がいい。命までは取らぬ。
He is the moment. What an icon. It's like, yeah, I did all that. Oh god. Why is he so smug? He has something up his sleeve.
アシュラットの合図があるまで撃つな。なんだっつんだよ。こっちは通常取ってんだぜ。たまげた男だ。一人で軍船2隻を相手に一歩も引かん。とっちゃん、俺らも戦おう。バカだれ。素人が下手に動くな。こういうことはあいつが一番離れしとる。わからんのか。こっちはトールズ以外ガキと素人の集まりなんだぞ。任せるしかないんだ。
I love his sage wisdom. He's like, don't make this any
そ
worse.
れと言っておとなしく去る連中ではないか。
Because they're
今の
not
ところ
exactly
崖の糸は打ってこない。
pirates.
総出で飛び移ってこられたら俺だけならともかく。
He's got his boy.
貴様が狩猟か。全能のオーディンの名において。
Oh, please don't tell me he's gonna... I thought maybe he was gonna offer himself for
俺が勝ったなら速やかに兵を引け。
the kids to go
断るというの
free.
なら貴様はわずか12人の奴隷を得るためにその3倍の部下を失うことになる。
I feel like he's gonna win the duel, but it's gonna be really underhanded.
なぜ俺が狩猟だと思う？
Because he's not stupid.
匂いだ。
いいだろう。この決闘を受けよう。
Oh, he's gonna pull out some like
オーディンの名において誓う。
shit tactic,
みんな
isn't
戦士の声下が
he?
りなさい。
Because there's no way he's gonna be able to hold his own against Thors.
俺もね、あんたから匂いを感じるんだよ。俺と同じ匂いだ。ヨウムのトロルよ。
俺を知って。
Yeah.
不老機か。
頭のいいやつは好きだよ。
父上、お前みたいなワルと一緒にすんな。父上は強いんだ。死んじゃい海賊。
Oh, Thorfinn.
変な鎧。
Thorfinn.
元気な砂利だな。あんたの子かい。
アシュラット、貴様妻子はいるか。
いや、
He has nothing to
So-
lose in dying.
始めよう。
I'm so scared.
ずいぶん無造作に間合いを詰めてくる。
He's gonna signal the archers. Fuck, he's fast. That's so underhanded. Oh wow, he's fast, man.
かわされた必殺の間合いを。こんな辺境までわざわざ足を運んだ甲斐があったぜ。なかなかの男がいるじゃねえか。
許せ、アシュラット。
He has no choice but to draw blood. And that's not what he wants to
会えて
do.
嬉しいぜ、トールズ。
The music is so good. Damn. The animation. It's phenomenal. I worry that
やばくね。
Thors is still going to lose because of some underhanded attack. Attack? I don't know if I said that correctly, but
奴の狙いは俺の剣か。これ以上
he's still trying to incapacitate him.
ってことは奴の剣も来た。狙いが読めりゃ剣筋も読めるぜ。来た大振り。
Oh, he was anticipating it.
俺が油断して大振りするのを待ってやがった。 鼻から剣を折らせるつもりで
I think he's
全
gonna
部
signal
こいつ
the
の筋
archers
が来てる
though.
か。
トールズさんやっぱすげえぜ
どうしたやれよ。
その必要はない。
He's gonna fucking signal the archers. His kindness is gonna get him killed.
認めろ。この決闘は俺の勝ちだ。速やかに兵を引け。
He's not going
本
to.
当に強いなトールズ。あんたなら一軍の大将も務まるだろう。それほどの腕がありながら15年もアイスランドに。もったいないと思わんか。
思わん。こんなものに頼らざるを得んのは俺が未熟だからだ。本当の戦士には剣などいらぬ。
Oh, the music's getting really emotional, which makes me think something bad's gonna happen.
俺たちの狩猟にならんか。
Is he being serious or is it all a trick? I find it really hard to read him.
なんちってね。おいおい。誰も
I think
笑わねえ
maybe
な
part of him was
冗談だ。
serious.
なんだ冗談。
Get
どいつも動きな。ガキの首から下がなくなるぜ。アシェラット貴様。
父
まったく人がいいな。俺らが決闘の作法を守ると思ったが、
they're not men of honor.
音に聞こえたヨウムのトロルがどんなもんか、なかなか楽しかったよ。
He's gonna end up dying trying to save Thorfinn, as any father would. He's gonna make him pick his leader or killing Thorfinn.
お前たちは決闘の作法を乱した。この勝負俺の勝ちだ。
どっちでもいいさ。俺の狙いはあんたの玉だ。
分かってる。
You swore an oath to Odin.
承知した。この決闘は。
He's gonna signal the archers. No! I fucking knew it! I knew it!
アシェラット、この勝負俺の勝ちだ。戦士の約束をたがえるなよ。
我が先祖アルトリウスの名にかけて速やかに兵を引こう。
レイフさん、すまないが頼みがある。
Escort them home.
俺の首をヨウムの狩猟シグバルディに届けてくれ。召集を嫌って行方をくらましたと誤解されたら村が報復を受ける。そこの貴様、望み通り俺の命をくれてやる。今すぐその子を離せ。
Oh, Thorfinn.
よかった。とりあえず。
クソガキめが。今日から命を大事にしてやがれ。トールズに感謝するんだな。てめえらクソガキ100人でも釣りの苦しだ。
I love that he's still standing despite everything.
あんなに強い父上が
He was.
なんで剣を捨てたんだ。戦士に剣はいらないなんて。なんで父上が。畜生。
Oh, bless him.
なんで父上が死んで。あいつが生きてるんだ。畜生。
He's just a baby who's going to be hell bent on avenging the dishonor granted upon his father.
負傷は28名か。死者はいない一人もかバカな
Because he was a man of honor who you disrespected. Thorfinn is gunning.
船底に隠れていやがったな。見ろよ、一丁前に探検なんか持ってるぜ。いやー、僕怖い。
You're laughing now. Just you fucking wait.
よくも父上を殺したな絶対に殺してやるぶっ殺してやるぞ殺してやる
ガキのくせになんてめえしやがる。海に捨てるか
No,
ほっとけ。どうせすぐ死ぬ。
he won't. Oh, poor baby. Poor baby. Just. I knew it would have to be soon for the narrative to go the way that I thought it was going to go. I just didn't expect it to be this very same episode. Just the voice acting in this show is insane. It's absolutely crazy how good it is. The animation, the music, the voice acting, chef's kiss. He is driven. I knew it was going to be a revenge narrative. This kid is going to be torn between avenging his father because his father was killed by dishonorable men, and he was worth 100 of those men. His life was one of kindness and trying to make a difference in the world, trying to protect and look after those who he cared for most, trying to ensure that everyone was safe and protected, whilst also driving home lessons to his son about how violence isn't necessarily the way that we should go, that we need to move beyond violence, that being a warrior doesn't mean relying on shedding blood, on using a sword. There are other ways to be a warrior. You can be a warrior of the mind. You can find ways to win battles without resorting in the loss of life. He showed that there was another way to do things, that you could take an approach that would incapacitate your enemies whilst not being responsible for taking their lives. And despite the honor that he showed those around him, to be treated so dishonorably by everyone else, to not respect the duel, and to have the audacity to swear it on Odin and to not live up to your promise is foul. Absolutely foul. He's a very hard character to read at times because he does seem to have some element of respect for Thors, for how strong he is, for his bravery, for his willingness to do what it takes to protect his son and the other kids there, for his resilience and strength. And he was at least willing to honor it by allowing them to leave after Thors was dead, because that was the whole point of getting them here, was killing Thors. But I can completely understand where Thorfinn's coming from in wanting them all dead. If you've seen your father ripped away from you by men that you see as dishonorable, you're going to want to do whatever you can to avenge him. And that's what's going to drive him. And I think he's going to end up in that moral confliction between his father's teachings and learning how to forgive and come to terms with the loss and move on, and this desire for revenge and the burning hatred that he feels, because we all know that revenge can also take you down a dangerous path. You know, one act of revenge can lead to another. It doesn't always bring the peace that you hope that it does. So it could be that we see Thorfinn having to wrestle with the fact that he is killing the people that are responsible for his father's death, but at the same time is finding that there's kind of no real resolution happening. He doesn't feel any better. It doesn't prevent the ache and the pain that he feels at losing his dad. Or we'll see him wrestle with the idea of forgiving and moving forward, which is also an incredibly difficult task to perform. I think it's much harder to forgive than it is to seek revenge. It is a harder task to sit down and forgive someone that's hurt you so deeply than it is to utilize weapons or fists against those that have hurt you. I think it takes a lot of moral fortitude and courage to forgive and move on. But for some people, they don't find that healing. And again, it's hard to assess because until you're in that situation, I think it's hard to understand how people's minds work. There are people that have gone through horrific crimes and they're able to forgive and move on, and there's people that can't and want to seek revenge against their attackers. And I think we can't really judge until we're in that situation. So I can completely understand where Thorfinn's coming from, and I don't judge him on his desire for revenge because I feel if I was in that situation and I had seen my father, this strong, courageous warrior who was honorable in everything that he did, killed in such a cowardly, underhanded way, I would also want to do whatever I could to avenge him. I would want them to fear my father's name and therefore, by extension, fear me, fear the wrath of my father from beyond the grave, because I am the judge, jury, and executioner. And I think that's what Thorfinn's going to become. But again, based on the interactions we've seen with him and his father, there is going to be some moral conflict at some point where he maybe has to come to terms with the fact that either his revenge comes to bite him in the ass because in killing someone, maybe their loved one takes revenge on someone that he loves and cares about, and he has to relive that loss of his father, but also know that his hand played a role in losing someone because he also took someone else away from their loved ones. Or he is going to feel as if nothing he does in pursuing violence brings him peace. It just brings him more violence, more anger, more rage. It doesn't soothe anything within his soul. But it will be interesting to see how that navigates. He's stowed away on this ship. So I don't know what's happened to the other kids because it says they can't move the ships without Thors. So they abandoned the ships, but where did they go? Did they go with Leif? How did he hide in the ship with no one knowing that he was there? How did they not realize that Thor's kid was missing? Especially considering this kid is angry and devastated that his dad has just been murdered in front of him. But even in his death, Askeladd is able to recognize that he's a man worth more than 100 bratty kids like you, but he's also a man worth more than you. And I think he knows that because even when he's on the ship, he's kind of haunted by the fact that not one person died at Thor's hand. Not one. But he still chose to do this. He still chose to take the money for this mission. So he is still a horrible person. And I love that even in his final moments, he's still thinking about his village and the people in the village. He's still using his final moments to protect everybody because he's saying, if you don't take my head, they'll think I've deserted again. And he'll punish the village by extension because they'll think the village is hiding me or hiding my whereabouts. So, like, even though he's dying, he's still choosing to prioritize the people he loves and cares about most What a man. I'm gonna cry. I was already tearing up. I didn't cry though, but I was very close to it. But it's just awful that Thorfinn had to see that. And I'm glad that Thorfinn wasn't harmed. And I think Thors is also glad knowing that his son will be able to go free. I think they both knew that there was no way out of this without Thor's dying. And I think Thor knew that the only way for his son and the others to go free without being harmed was to accept his fate, which was to die. And that's why he throws his sword away. Because he doesn't move, and he's fast enough that I feel like he would have sensed the arrows and moved. He's not dumb. I think he accepted that this was going to be the result, that the only resolution to be found was through his death, and he was willing to meet his death if it secured Thorfinn's safety. Because Thorfinn, when he runs over to him, he puts his hand on Thorfinn's head and he says, "I'm glad," meaning he's glad that his son's okay. I'm getting myself more worked up after the fact than I am during the episode, which is further cemented by him saying, "I'll give you my life like you wanted. Just let the boy go right now." And they do, because they're willing to honor that. They're willing to accept that they're only here for him. They're not here for anyone else. And, you know, the least they can do is grant a dying man his wish. He gave his life as a warrior and a hero to protect his son to the end. And it's something that I think Thorfinn won't realize until he's older, that his father willingly made the sacrifice to protect him, to keep him safe, because he valued his life enough that he was willing to sacrifice his own. And that's something I think Thorfinn will maybe understand as he's older, but right now he's so young and so angry. I think it's going to take a while for that to kind of sink in, that his father went to his death willingly. He knew he was going to die because he knew it was the only way to guarantee Thorfinn's life. And let's be honest, we know that Thors wouldn't want Thorfinn to go on a path of revenge. He would be content knowing that Thorfinn left here and went and lived a good, peaceful, happy life. That would be Thor's want for Thorfinn. That's what his sacrifice was meant for. But obviously, Thorfinn is very young, doesn't understand why his father did what he did, doesn't understand that his father embraced that to give his son a life, a future, a possibility for something other than violence and bloodshed. But in doing so, secured his son to walk the path of bloodshed. His sacrifice and Thorfinn being too young to understand the meaning of it is what's going to set him down a path of bloodshed. It's going to take him down a path that Thors would never want for him. But maybe part of the story is Thorfinn coming to understand his father in a way that he never used to, and coming to understand that maybe this path he finds himself on isn't what his father wanted him to go down, isn't what his father died for. And he maybe comes to the understanding that forgiveness is something he needs to explore. He needs to move forward in a way that is worthy of his father's memory, rather than does a disservice to Thors and what he died for. But I think that's all I have to say for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this react, please consider liking, subscribing, and leaving a comment below to help boost this video into the algorithm. And until next episode, bye!